Okay, so we can probably dismiss with the objector option number one. It just doesn't make any sense internally. But the second option has a little bit more going for it. In James chapter 2, verses 18, he says, but someone may well say, you have faith, and I have works. Show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. And then James comes back in and says, you believe that God is one, you do well, the demons also believe and shudder. So what's the problem with this one? It's at least internally consistent, James and the objector are agreeing with one another, which the other option didn't have. But what's wrong with this one? Well, what's wrong with it is that every commentator on the planet thinks that James's point in this whole passage of Scripture is that if you have faith but don't have works to go along with it, then you're illegitimate. You don't really have faith because you don't have works to go along with it. You're just someone that, I just have faith, but you don't have works. That's what everyone thinks that James is saying. But under this view, if this is what the objector is saying, then he's actually saying what everyone thinks that James is saying. Do you see what I'm trying to say? The objector is saying under this view, you have faith, James, you have faith and no works. I have works and also faith. So I have works. Show me your faith, James, without works, which is impossible, by the way. You can't do that. And I will show you that I have faith by my works. I can do that. I've got works, so I can show you that I truly believe. I say that I believe, and I have works that back it up, so I can show you my faith by my works. You just say you've got faith, but you don't have any works, so I doubt whether you really have faith. That's what the objector is saying under this translation, under the NASB and many others. So do you see the problem with that? If everyone thinks that that's what James is saying, that if you don't have works, you can't really have faith, and your faith is illegitimate, why would he introduce an objector who's going to say the exact same thing that everyone thinks that James is saying? It just makes absolutely no sense. It makes sense internally, the logic holds up, but it doesn't make sense within the interpretation that most people have of James chapter 2. So we can probably dismiss that view, although there are some people that think that James and the objector are actually agreeing with one another rather than objecting, which makes no sense. Why would you introduce somebody to object with what you're saying if they really just agree with what you're saying? That really doesn't make any sense at all. I think we can dismiss this view just because it just logically doesn't hold up. Why would the objector be saying what everyone thinks that James is saying? So we could probably dispense with this view. I think the third option really has a lot more weight to it.